sorry. I got kind of cut off there. Had an unexpected visitor that came in. Like I said, I'm sitting in the backyard, so I didn't even know she was in the house. My sister's mother-in-law came to visit. Um, so my sister had a serious surgery. So just praying for her. I was worried about her, but she's doing good. She's not in any pain and she's resting. So but we just have a lot of visitors that we don't usually have. My sister's always the one who is off visiting other people. So she do not like to keep still. But sometimes God just, he steps in and tells you to sit your butt down. You gotta sit your butt down. But I meant to pause the video, but I ended up stopping it. So this is going to be part 2. Hello, how are you? My name is Sariba, and this is just my random videos and stuff that I do, and not really for anybody in particular. I'm just figured, I would start filming one day. It just struck me that that's what I'll do, and random stuff just pops into my ADD brain. So I do a lot of crafting, and I do it for mental health, to really just for me. Keep my mind focused on positive things, and to kind of escape. It is my escape. Realistically, that's what it is. Because I'm telling you, when life and hard, you got to find something that brings you joy. And the different things that I've been doing bring me joy. I've been doing a lot of fishing and going out to go crabbing, and I have not been successful at it, but just the act of going out and doing it is satisfying to me. Not to mention, when some of my sisters come along with me, we have so much fun. So, find something you love and you love doing, because mental health is important. and with everything else that goes on in the world, you don't need to add any more stress to your body. I know that we don't have control over it a lot of times, but if you don't have a release, it could build up and affect your health. It bleeds over into everything, and I mean everything. So if you can find something that you enjoy, then do it. And it doesn't have to cost anything. Like I have expensive hobbies, as I call them. I have expensive hobbies. But I am willing to pay that price for my mental health. So I don't have to burden anybody with my problems and what is going on in my head, because yeah, that's a lot. That's a shit show. But I do suffer from clinical depression, and not the you're gonna self-harm or anything like that. Mine is just motivational wise, as far as I want to stay in the bed and wallow and but I grew up in a time that we don't have space for that. Okay, I have learned that I can feel what I feel, and that's okay, but I can't live in that space. So this is what I do, so I don't live in that space. Because anyone suffering from depression will tell you that even the thought of getting out of bed day to day is draining. You know you have to do it, but the thought of going out of my space, my little boundary, and dealing with people is sometimes so overwhelming, and my social battery fills up very quickly. And I feel like doing the type of work that I do, if I'm not careful, I will find myself suffering from vicarious trauma, which on occasion I have, but like I said, I do things to help to alleviate that by redirecting my brain to do, something else, or put that energy that I'm giving that trauma to something else. So I encourage anyone to seek help when you need it. Talk to family and friends. Talk to a professional if you have to, but you have to get it out. You have to own it and recognize it. You gotta sit in it, but you can't stay in it. Acknowledge how you feel, but don't make it the everything, because tomorrow is a new day. And even though it's not promised, what if? If you get a tomorrow, it's a blessing. So that's kind of how I function. It may not work for everyone, and I'm not saying that it will. I I found what works for me. So this is what I do for my depression. I craft, I diamond paint, I color, I listen to music that moves me. I cry, I read books, I absorb books, I should say. Um, and I read trashy books. Um, but I don't apologize for it, because that's it, it's something that works for me. I make jewelry. Um, I cross stitch. All of these things, though, I have to be in the mood to do. And I'm quite sure that goes to say for anyone. Your creative space, your muse has to come to you when it comes to you. You can't force it. So, I could take something out to work on and be like, nope, don't want to do that, and then go to something else. So, spits and spurts is what I call it. So it's not an everyday thing. Like I said, I haven't worked on this in months, and I have several other pieces going, and sometimes I just want to work on something, but I may not know what, and I may not know until I unravel it and look at it and say, this is the one I want to work on today, and that's okay. But has anybody read anything interesting lately? I'm reading a series. I usually read series of books, and right now I am reading the Children of the Gods series. Children of the Gods series. And so far there's like 110 books, and I've read them all. They are really good. They are really good. And it's usually 3 books to one couple, but there's an overall, the world building is amazing. I absolutely love this series, and it reminded me a lot of the Dark Hunter series by Sherry Lynn Kenyon, who's one of my favorite authors. I absolutely love Sherry Lynn Kenyon, or McQueen, which I believe she went back to her maiden name, so it is McQueen now. But her Dark Hunter series, absolutely love, 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 love it. But yeah. Children of the Gods, I mean, it's good. I'm 110 books in, so you know, it's like every month they release another one, and I just finished number 110, so yeah, August is the next release, and I am on pins and needles right now. I am on pins and needles because it always ends at a cliffhanger. So yeah, I'm all in. And if you have, like I have Kindle Unlimited. So when I say that I have read 110 books in this series, I have not purchased not one book. I pay like $11.99 a month, and I can check out 10 books at a time. So and you can keep them for as long as you need to. There's no, you know, expiration date on when you have to return them or anything, so you just keep them and you read them, and when you are finished with it, you go to your next book. Once you hit 10, it tells you that you know, you'll have to return a title in order to take out the next title, but but yeah, it's worth the $11.99. My streak, I can't even remember what my streak is right now, but I read every day and have read every day for the past 3 years. I think my streak is like 3 years. Almost every day. No, because I think right now I'm on like an 83-day streak. There may be a day here and there where I can't read something. You know, whether you're sick or life just gets away from you or whatever. But yeah, I try to read every day. So yeah, I believe my streak is 83. And I'm not sure how many books I've read this year so far. Last year it was 200 and something. But it keeps a record of all of that. So, and for me, my books have to catch me in the first chapter. And if you can't hold my attention past the first chapter, yeah, I let it go, because life is too short. Life is too short to be stuck reading a boring book. I have been trying to read The Count of Monte Cristo. Is the only classic that I haven't gotten through. And I've read the Odyssey. So that's saying something. Another one of my favorite authors is Jane Austen. And I have read Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility. I read Pride and Prejudice every year because it is my favorite book of all time. But okay, so the wind is starting to pick up. It won't be too much longer till I am run out of here. Back inside, but I don't really have the space to diamond paint inside anymore. Let's see, I think I got all of the down arrows. If I'm missing one, just point it out. I think I got all the percents too. Did I? I think I got all the percents. So this is 32, 31. This is the next one. L. You heard a lot of coughing. That was my brother-in-law. So I apologize. I just am thinking that, yeah, I can't wait to be in my own space again. Because then I don't have to worry about when and where I film. If I film. And taking into consideration anyone else's Um, oh, Lord. I guess I'll do this line up here. This is 939. It's not black. It is dark navy blue. So I'll do that line. Oh my God, look at that color in the sunlight. So pretty. So pretty. Oops. Wow. I just picked up a bunch of drills here, and I'm trying to remember what number they were. L. So, is that the right one? Nope. They're a different color. Maybe it was the down arrow. No, it's not it. What other one did I work on? It could be H, which is number 35. Let's see. Looks like that's the one. Does that? No. Oh, this is gonna drive me bonkers. The hell? What is 336? I didn't even take that color out. What the hell? It's not that one. Oh no. I don't know, y'all. My brain. I think I broke my brain. I don't know what color this was. I have got to be more careful. You know what? It has to be. It is. It is the down arrow. I think the light was just hitting it wrong. Yeah, I think I gotta go down to the Royal Farms and get me some ice. It's weird, but I don't like my ice maker ice from my refrigerator, to me it has a funny taste to it, and it's not the filter or anything like it. I don't know what it is, but to me it has a funny taste. It doesn't bother anybody else in the house, but I can taste something that just, I don't know, it don't taste good to me, so I don't use that ice. Not to mention I just like the ice from the Royal Farms, and my job has some really good ice. So I usually will fill up my big cup, and my ice will last in there, depending on how many times I refill it with water, which I'm trying to be better at drinking. I've been drinking lots and lots of water. I have cut my soda intake down to maybe one soda a week, if that. And it's usually like an orange fountain soda. And or a ginger ale. Ginger ale is my preference. But sometimes it has to be an orange fountain soda because they don't have ginger ale in the fountain. Yeah, so that is what I will drink. And oh my god, that sun is just, it just makes those drills look gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I just keep getting distracted because they're so freaking pretty. Okay, so I got some number 3s, and it's 3 is not an AV, but it is, look at that pretty, it's like a periwinkle blue. So pretty. Look at that. They are so pretty. Yeah, if I swirl, don't pay me no mind, because that's just me. I'm actually debating on whether or not I want to move to the shade, because the sun, I have already tanned at least 12 shades. That, yeah. And the sun is just beaming on me, but I am loving this. And I could just put up this umbrella, but the wind is blowing and I don't want it to not like catch on the umbrella and like rock the table any more than what it's already moving at. I've got to cover that up. I don't know what that was that got on there, but yeah, it's just ugly and gross looking. But it's covered now. It didn't take the sticky off, so thank God for that. Because I don't have the materials to fix a canvas here. All of that stuff is in storage, so yeah, it would not help me to ruin the stickiness of my canvas. But I could use a baby wipe and wipe the canvas, and then it'll get it sticky back. Oh, what a helpful hint, tip, hack, whatever you want to call it, that was. You just have to use the right kind of baby white, because you can't use them El Cheapos because they will ruin your canvas. And you have to know how to do it, because there's a point where you have to stop rubbing on the canvas. So, but yeah. And then I also have some glue or adhesive that they were selling, and if you needed to re-sticky up a certain part or something. Now this isn't periwinkle. I don't know what color this is, but I don't know, it's pretty. It's not quite, well, I guess it could be like a lavender. It's not really, I don't want to really say it's a lavender. I don't know. That might be more lavender. This one might be more lavender. But I don't know. I'm thinking of... Can you see the difference there? It's subtle. It's one shade. So we'll call that one lavender. We'll call this one periwinkle, I guess. But they are both pretty. And as you know, around here we love the shiny things. I'm telling you, I was a niffler in my last life. Okay. We don't have too many of these number 4s over here. Yeah, I think that was it. We didn't have too many. So I had dropped a lot more than I thought, so that's why I kind of just run my hands over it to make sure that I haven't missed any. Oh, that's 5. I'm going to work on these V's right in here. Not too many of them. So it sounds like my fishing rod has fallen over. And I'm thinking now, because the wind has picked up, maybe I should have used my microphone. And which one should I think I want to work somewhere down in here, but just give me a moment. I'm gonna pause and then I'm going to move over into the shade because I'm getting cold. So you guys are going to get a different angle that I'm going to work on. We had a devastating storm on the 4th of July, and I say devastating because lightning struck a tree in my backyard, and yeah, it pretty much fried it, split it, and now we have to take the tree down because it is now on the wires and on the house. It caused water, we got a leak in the house, which caused water damage, and the roof on the addition of the house on the inside came down, so that has to be replaced, but we have to figure out where the water came in. So the contractor came and sealed up where he thought the water came in at. So we have to wait for it to rain heavily again and see if it rained and see if that's where it was. But and then we'll know for sure whether or not that was where it came in at. So thank God for homeowners insurance. They sound like they're having a party in there. I tell you, my family will have a party at the drop of a hat. I'm telling you, you sneeze and they're like, Opa. But yeah, my brother-in-law's mother is hilarious, and I absolutely love her to bits. She is just too funny, but she is loud and boisterous, and I love it. Love, love, love it. She reminds me, well, my sister, I have a sister who I think is the life of every single party that we have, and her energy is so amazing, and she smiles, she lights up the entire room. And she has the kindest heart, and her name is Charisse. But yeah, she's absolutely wonderful. All of my sisters are pretty great. All of them are pretty great. So I thank God for them, because we never had a dull moment in our house. We never had a dull moment. There was always something going on. My grandmother was the one in the neighborhood whose door was always open to everyone. All of our friends would come over. They would stay the night. You know, we weren't allowed to go and stay the night at their house, but they could come and stay over at our house. We had the safe space for anyone who needed it. And my grandmother was a praying woman, and it would not be unusual to wake up and she would be praying over you. And and not like a creepy, trying to cast out the devil or anything like that, but literally praying for your health and your well-being and your safety. So it was very comforting growing up, and she taught us how to pray. And I am not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person, but not a religious person. So, and I do pray, and I do believe that there's a higher power. I'm not, I don't even know, like, I believe in a higher power. And I believe that that higher power is different for other people. As long as you know that, number one, this universe is too immense for us to be alone. It is too large for us to have evolved to the point where we are without divine intervention, I should say. And I think that it is naive for a person to think otherwise. But I respect their right to think otherwise. Like, I don't press anything on anybody, and because I don't want anybody pressing anything on me. So, yeah, believe what you want to believe, and I'll believe what I want to believe, and I won't press my beliefs on you, which is, I think, the majority of the world's issues is everybody wants to press their beliefs on the next person. And if you don't, then, if you don't believe the way that they do, then something's wrong with you. And I mean, the goal to assume that you're right in something, because that's all it is. It's an assumption, because you don't know for sure. You believe, or you have faith in that, but I don't know how you can look at the blue sky above and the beautiful birds in the sky and not realize that there's a higher power at work. And that every individual is just that, an individual. And if they want to believe that, a purple unicorn is responsible for that, who am I to tell them different? And who are you to tell them different? The point is that they believe. So that's my spiel on it. And we'll just leave it there. But I'm curious to what others think. I don't ever discount anybody's feelings or beliefs or anything, because I don't know for sure. I just know what I feel. So I can tell you now that this video will not be edited because I don't know how to edit. And I don't think I want to learn. I just want it raw, and that is just the way we'll have it. So, you know, I mean, filtering and all that is filtering, editing, and all that is all well and good. I don't knock anybody who does that, you know, because shit, they learn how to do it, but I don't have the mental capacity. Maybe I will in the future, but I don't see it happening just because I'm the you know, rough and raw person that I am. If it is what it is, and yeah, it is what it is. And I don't want to spend all my time trying to edit something, and because then I'm changing the spirit of it, and this is not where I am. This is that's just not where I am with it. So yeah, I'd rather keep my time and my bandwidth for something else, because I really don't have the bandwidth to learn how to do that right now. So yeah, if you think that my videos should be edited or played up, or I don't know, dressed up frilly and everything else, yeah, you're not getting that. So sorry, not sorry. I apologize. That is what we used to say when you know, you really don't want to apologize to somebody because you don't think that you did anything wrong. And so my mom was a funny lady, and my mom had certain rules and certain beliefs, and she was honest to a fault at times. And there were certain things that she never made us kids do, and she believed that nobody should make their kids do or say certain things to their kids. Number one is, if you don't want your kids to be a product of their environment, watch what they are exposed to and take accountability for what they're exposed to, because children learn by imitation. And if they see certain behaviors, then they will emulate that, because that is what children are. They are mirrors of ourselves. Now, there are certain things that my mother would get pissed off if she heard somebody saying. Like, if she heard somebody say to their kid, "You know better than that." Think about how many times you've said that to your children. You know better than that. Do they really? Because if a child runs out in the street and the parent runs out and grabs them and they say, "You know better than that," well, logically thinking, they would only know better if they were taught how to cross the street and the dangers that come when you don't follow the correct rules. So, have you actually taken the time to teach your child how to cross the street, how to look both ways, and then check again? And to tell them that we don't run out in the street for certain reasons. You could get hurt. There are cars that are coming down the street. Have you really said that to them at, 2 or 3 years old? So they don't know better than that. So she always instilled in us the importance of words, the words that you speak. And don't get me wrong, my mother she was a firecracker. She could cuss you out at the drop of a hat. But she also let you know that curse words were grown-ups' way of venting frustration. And you don't take them literally. That, it is a way to vent their frustration, and that is all. When they don't have the correct words to express how they are feeling at that moment, they may drop an F-bomb. It does not mean that F-bomb literally, okay? But she explained all of that to us in a way that we understood it. Maybe, we got it, in other words. My mother was not the strict disciplinarian that a lot of our friends had, which is probably why everyone wanted to come over. Like, she kept it real. Like, you could have a conversation with her if you couldn't have a conversation with your own parents, and she would give you the real. She would tell you that if you went out here and did adult things, then you had to deal with adult consequences. Okay? And don't be in a hurry to grow up, because there's nothing waiting for you but taxes and bills. And it didn't matter if you didn't want to follow anybody's rules, because when you grew up, you had rules that you had to follow anyway. You still have to get up and go to work every morning. Your rent is still due on the first of the month. Delmarva Power don't care that you want to go to the club and you gotta buy a nice outfit or something. When it comes time to pay your electric bill, guess what? They want their money. So everybody is beholden to somebody, whether that's by choice or not. It's all about the choices that you make. If you want to go out here and have, babies, guess what? You got to take care of those babies. And if you don't take care of those babies, then, somebody comes in and takes those babies from you. And how will you be able to look at yourself in the mirror? Because speaking from knowledge, first-hand knowledge, the foster care system is not perfect. It is not perfect, and it gets it wrong often. It gets it wrong often. So, but not often enough that it's going to be taken away, because what would the alternative be? There wouldn't be one. You would have children who are in desperate need of care who wouldn't otherwise get it. So, um, yeah. So if you want to go out here and be a teen parent or whatever, you know, she would be real with you. You know, how does the saying go? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And that's what I taught my kids. That if you go out here and, you know, a friend of mine actually said to me that his father explained to him when he was a teen, which I think is the best analogy ever, and I encourage you to use this with your kids. Everyone is born pulling a from the, you know, the time that they can walk. They're pulling a little red wagon behind them. And you will be pulling that red wagon your entire life. It is the burdens and the accomplishments and the things that you carry around with you all your life. Now, you want to go out here and you want to have a bunch of kids. You're going to put them in that red wagon and you're going to have to haul that red wagon. You want to go out here and you don't want to apply yourself and put forth your best efforts in school. You know, that hindrance, that shackle of non-education, you know, or lack thereof, becomes a rock in your red wagon. And depending on what you want to do in life, that rock could get heavier. So, you got to tote this red wagon all your life. Now, whether you fill it up with bad things or you fill it up with things that will help you is... Go ahead. You see, I had to move.
I mean, the sun, yeah, but it ain't humid. Like...
No, it's not. It's not humid at all. Excuse me, just a moment. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there, because I keep getting interrupted, and my brain is really not in it. So I think I'm gonna continue to work on this to finish this area right here, and call it a day. I'm going to keep working on it, though, off camera. All right, so have a wonderful day. And take care of your mental health. And take care of your physical health. Hopefully, I will see you again soon. Bye.